Hey guys, so I'm going to do a little part 2 to my video here. So I'm basically at the other side of the area that I was in the last video. I figured I'd come down to the other end where the mall used to stand, and now they have all this going on. So back in the day, this is actually the parking lot. Well, this used to be a huge parking lot, right from that end all the way to about, well, that other building over here. Basically, that's pretty much where the old mall used to stand. But this whole area here, even this stuff right here, like this little walkway and all this shit, this was just a little curb, and then you come up from the parking lot onto the grass. And here's the old baseball diamond, which doesn't look like it's been used in probably 10 years. It's just, this whole area is so run down. Guys, I have no idea if you can see. It's not very bright out today, but I really can't see on my screen very well either because it's looks pretty dark. But anyways, yeah, this is pretty much the area where I started using my RC nitro cars. I always had electric stuff, but I met a guy who was a little older and he was into the nitro stuff, and that's basically how I got into the nitro stuff. But we used to go the old days, back in the days with the Kyosho's, the Burns and the Turbo Burns and the Infernos. We used to put the slicks on and go all around this parking lot, which you can't do anymore if you wanted to. But you would jump up the curb here, and then you had all this area when you wanted to put the spiked tires on, the knobbies on, and God, this was all like dirt in here at one point. Now it's all grown up. So this path we used to rip down. See, this is where I was over here when I was in the car earlier, showing all the stuff where I said they used to build those ramps. That's where they started, down off that hill. It's basically when you got down to the end, after probably a few dozen jumps all the way down, there was big jumps, small jumps, but you'd basically get down to here, and there was a big final jump, and you'd pretty much end up just before you got into that parking lot. So it was a fairly big setup, and we used to come over and just sit on this hill here basically and watch all those guys. You know, they were probably like 10 years older than me, come down and do their wicked jumps and all their freestyle jumps and everything. But then you get the younger kids that thought they could do it, and they ended up like fucking cartwheeling and falling off their bike and flying on their face and their ass and their back. It was quite funny. So I don't even remember this little walkway wasn't even here back when I lived here. I have no idea. It doesn't look very new. It looks relatively old, but it was definitely never here. Yeah, this used to be a big open area, and now they just look like they're making a little strip mall or a big mall of some kind. So I'm just walking over to this area. This looks so weird, just looking at all those cars over there on the road. This used to be a big community here, and now when I look, I can see the other road from here. It is fucking just wild. Like, if you can go back to through my years and look through my eyes right now, it's fucking weird as shit. So this was the original entrance. It's really even hard to think about how this was laid out at one point. Look how nice and clean it is around here though. Looks pretty good. So yeah, this was the original entrance, and these swings over here actually moved because it used to be right around here somewhere. So this was the community. I don't think this is this looks really recently done actually. You can see over there, I don't know how well you can see. Damn, I'm on a big hill right now and I'm in sandals, believe it or not. But over there is where I was standing earlier. And they used to come down into the underground garage. That's why this is so deep. I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually really deep down because it was all underground. So I'm sure they had a lot of to fill, being an underground area where it was up top was actually the houses and all the walking area. I'm just trying to think back of how it used to be laid out, because this was the back basically, and then you walk through the backyards and you went down a hill into the mall area. It's been so fucking long since I've even walked up in these areas. Yeah, this pathway right here used to come right down in all the backyards to all the houses on this side. This is basically faced all the backyards, so when you walk down this path, people would be standing in their backyards and shit, like pretty much just where these where these green boxes are here. That's where right in front of those is where the backyards used to come along, because you can still see all the staircases that came down the little walkway. This is like a little stroll down memory lane for me, and it's so weird because it's like 30 years ago, before I even drove, I used to bike around here and walk around here, just trying to picture where everything was. So yeah, this was the last entrance. So basically these stairways, there's 3 sets of these stairways all the way across here, but it used to be little entrances that went into the complex area, into the community, and then it just basically went in a huge circle, and there was just houses scattered everywhere. But this is what this used to be. You used to walk down, and all the houses would be along here, and you just keep walking, and eventually you go down a little staircase into the mall area. But this was quite a while ago, and I'm sure it's probably changed a lot since I've even lived here. So this is really strange to me. It just like everything else, I mean, it is so grubby and dirty around this area now. And the problem with it is, it used to be a nice little community, and you know, there was lots of gates and fences and everything everywhere, and now this area is so open. You can see everything just standing in one spot. It's wild. It's just wild. Yeah, this park, like the park over there, it hasn't really changed. It's, you know, went to improve and slide and all that kind of shit, obviously, but it's still the same exact layout. Everything's still in the exact same spot. But these little swing sets, they weren't that close to the baseball diamond. They were more up behind these trees right in this area. Because I remember we used to walk out of the community basically, and you'd be right at the. I used to find. I found a few bucks sitting here one night when I was a kid. There was a couple dollar bills sitting on the ground, and everywhere I looked by the swings, there was a little bit more cash. Somebody must have had it falling out of their pocket when they were fucking around on the swings. Probably a couple of teenagers at the time. But yeah, this is basically the area where I grew up. It's not where the area I was born, but it was pretty much where I started my early childhood, probably around 5 or 6 years old, right up to the time I was 16. And we moved out of the city basically. But it just looks, even just looking across this field, I mean, it just looks so weird. Everything's just so open now. Like, even the apartments, they're so easy to see now. There's actually three apartments. The other one's behind those trees there. But I don't remember them being this visible from this far away. It's just weird. It's just weird. Everything looks, sorry guys, everything looks so weird around here. And I actually wanted to take this video just so I could remember what it looked like when I was almost 40, because I'm 39 now. I'll be 40 in March. So it's going back about 10 years ago since I used to run around being a little prick around here. Oh my god, it's just so fucking wild. Everything is so open and it's so run down. It's like a totally different area now. And ever since I've been here, I'm hearing sirens constantly. Constantly there's sirens. If it's not a fire truck, it's a fucking cop car. Like, holy fuck, this place is wild now. Oh man. But there is still some nice people around here. I have actually seen a few normal looking souls walking around. But honestly guys, it was really, really hard to there's a lot of black people at the whole surrounding. Like, I used to go to school 15 minutes away from here. Obviously there was like black people, and I got to be friends with a lot of black people growing up, but it's not the same kind of black people around here anymore. And I'm not racist in any kind of way, but basically there's a lot of curtains walking around here, if you get my point. It's a different kind of people now, not the cleanest environment.